Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. Young and restless shocker, there's more to Nick and Sharon's situation than meets the eye. Nick and Sharon have landed in a frightening situation, what with Kane having his assistant and security goon lock them up in a dilapidated room. As dire as the circumstances may seem, however, there's more to what's going on here than meets the eye. We were quite honestly shocked that Nick didn't fight harder to keep from being locked up. Particularly since Sharon was taken hostage along with him, and she had just survived being held captive by Martin Laurent mere months before. While Nick would undoubtedly been able to take down Kane's nerdy assistant in a confrontation, the goon had a gun, so what ya gonna do? Interestingly enough, Jack and Diane decided not to intervene when they saw Nick and Sharon being led away at gunpoint. Probably wise on their behalf, but also curious given that this is a soap and powerful men like the Abbott are prone to injecting themselves into dangerous situations. After a bit of protest, Sharon and Nick were stuffed into a musty little room in the chateau and the door locked from the outside by Carter. After a lot of ineffective door pounding and hollering by Nick, the pair realized they were well and truly stuck. They tried to make themselves feel better by assuring each other that Jack and Diane would alert the others and that Victor would move heaven and earth to free them, but a traumatized Sharon being trapped will undoubtedly make things more dire and cause Nick to go all caveman. The truth is that there is a whole lot more to their situation than meet the eye. Or should we say less? That's right, soap's readers, Schick isn't really as bad off as it might seem. In fact, they could have walked out of the closet-sized slammer mere moments after they were shoved in there. How, you might ask? Well, what Nick and Sharon, and seemingly the set designers, failed to notice is that the hinges are on the inside of the door. As this young and restless viewer pointed out, escape would actually be quite simple. As silly as it seems, we'll have to play along with the soap, believing that they're well and truly trapped until such time as something big goes down, and it's coming. What do you think will happen with Sharon and Nick? Vote. For the young and the restless faithful, few couples carry as much emotional weight, or narrative history, as Nick Newman and Sharon Collins. Through decades of passion, betrayal, loss, and reconciliation, their journey has become the bedrock of Genoa City's romantic lore. Fans have watched them fall apart, come back together, and fall apart again so many times that Schick has become less a couple name and more a dramatic weather pattern, stormy, unpredictable, and impossible to ignore. But now, just when it seemed that Nick and Sharon had finally found peace in a friendship forged by survival and mutual respect, the soap has started planting the seeds of something new. Or maybe old. Something that looks like a reawakening of their relationship, but could it be a trap? A smokescreen? Or worse, a setup for a storyline twist that no one saw coming? Because here's the truth, there's more to Nick and Sharon's situation than meets the eye. And as the puzzle pieces begin to fall into place, it's clear that whatever's about to happen is going to rock not just their world, but the entire Newman family. Act 1, a reunion too good to be true. It began innocently enough. Nick, reeling from Sally's exit and Victor's never-ending meddling, found solace in the one person who truly understood him, Sharon. As for Sharon, still navigating the complexities of her mental health, her coffeehouse, and her role in the ever-turbulent Newman universe, she too seemed to need a touchstone. A safe place. For a while, it was just coffee and conversation. Late night talks at Crimson Lights. A few throwback laughs about their wild younger years. The sort of quiet intimacy that doesn't necessarily signal romance, but doesn't rule it out, either. Then came the kiss. It was quick, almost reflexive. A moment of vulnerability. Nick, uncertain of his future. Sharon, looking for something solid. Viewers were left wondering, was this it? Were Schick finally going to be endgame? But just as quickly, both pulled away. That was a mistake, Sharon whispered. Nick nodded, but he didn't look convinced. And neither did we. Act 2, Victor's shadow looms. Here's where things get complicated. Around the same time Nick and Sharon began orbiting each other again, Victor started pressing Nick harder than ever to fall in line with the family business. He wanted Nick at Newman Enterprises, wanted control, predictability, loyalty. Nick? He wanted out. Out of the corporate wars. Out of the endless manipulation. Out of Victor's grip. So then, did Nick suddenly agree to attend a family strategy meeting? Why did he begin showing interest in Newman Media? And why, most importantly, did he start leaning on Sharon as his emotional sounding board more than ever before? One theory, Nick's using the rekindled connection with Sharon as a shield. A way to remind himself who he used to be before Victor's world consumed him. But what if Sharon's not just a shield, but a target? Because here's the bombshell, Victor doesn't like loose ends. And Sharon? She's the ultimate loose end. Act 3, the secret Sharon's keeping. Longtime viewers know Sharon has her own secrets, always has. And the latest one could destroy everything. Rumors have been swirling that Sharon's been withholding something critical. It's not just about Nick or their past. It's about what happened to Cameron Kirsten's estate. You remember Cameron, the deranged ex who terrorized Sharon and left her with scars that never quite healed. Apparently, Sharon recently discovered that Cameron's vast fortune, left to her after his death, is tied up in Newman Enterprises. That's right, Victor quietly folded the money into his financial empire years ago, and Sharon only just found out, and she's furious. Nick doesn't know yet. But he's about to. And when he does, his loyalty to Victor could shatter. 4. Good.is Sharon drawing Nick back in for love, or revenge. Act 4, the Sally factor. Then there's Sally. She and Nick may be done, for now, but their story isn't over. Recently, Sally was seen having a tense conversation with Sharon at the coffee house. The two women exchanged pleasantries, but there was an edge beneath every word. Sally, ever perceptive, may suspect that Nick's gravitating toward Sharon again, but what she really suspects is that Sharon's intentions aren't as pure as they seemed. Here's the kicker: Sally stumbled upon a piece of that puzzle by accident. A document, left behind at a Newman media meeting, that referenced the Cameron Kirsten estate and disputed holdings. Will Sally be the one to expose Sharon's secret? And if she does, will it push Nick back into her arms, or drive him further away? Act 5, the big question: is someone being played? Let's step back and ask the question no one has dared ask yet. Is Sharon really falling for Nick again, or is this all part of a larger plan? Some fans believe Sharon's connection with Nick is genuine. Others point to subtle clues: the way Sharon avoids certain topics, how she bristles at Victor's name, how she's been researching legal options for reclaiming her assets. What if Sharon's setting the stage for a power move? Reclaim her fortune, break from the Newmans once and for all, and take Nick with her. It would be the ultimate twist, the once fragile Sharon becoming the architect of Victor's downfall, using love as both sword and shield. Act 6, Nick's own secret agenda. But hold on, what if Nick's the one playing her? After all, Nick has always been torn between two worlds: the corporate empire he was born into and the simpler life he's always claimed to want. Maybe this time, he sees Sharon not just as a comfort, but as leverage. A way to hit back at Victor. To destabilize the Newman machine from within, using Sharon's claim to the Kirsten fortune as a weapon. Could Nick be rekindling Schick not for love, but for strategy? Is this a love story, or a long con? Act 7, the future of Schick, redemption or ruin. One thing's for sure, whatever's brewing between Nick and Sharon isn't just nostalgia. It's not just two exes reliving old memories. It's a reckoning. A showdown between past love, present wounds, and future choices. And whatever happens next could reshape the young and the restless forever. Will Nick and Sharon finally find peace? Or will their renewed connection ignite a chain reaction that leaves both, and everyone around them, in ruins? Because there's more to their situation than meets the eye, and the truth, it's about to come out.